had a lot of friends that went to Clemson, and everyone just loved it. And the more I came back, the more I started falling in love with it and realized that Clemson was where I really wanted to be. So I transferred after my freshman year here because I wanted to be an engineer, and they're a very good engineering school.
When I talked to Clemson students, they didn't just talk about academics, they didn't just talk about athletics, they didn't just talk about the organizations they were involved in, they talked about all three. And so for me, that was a really big part of that, was I knew I wanted to go somewhere that I could be well-rounded and I was going to be happy. It was undoubtedly Clemson. I decided to come here. Best decision I've ever made in my life, and I wouldn't change a second in the last 2.5 years.
There are a list of a few options that I didn't want to compromise on when I was selecting college. First was a good engineering program. Next, I wanted to leave the cold weather of Cincinnati and come somewhere warmer. And I also wanted a good sports program because I saw that really helped to draw students together for a university spirit. And Clemson definitely is leading the nation in all three of those categories.
Over the past 4 summers, I've also done a lot of undergraduate research internships over the summer, so I've got to go to like Chicago and Colorado, see different universities and work with different professors there. And that's been pretty fun to meet new people and make connections.
My interest was just clean water in general and helping that, because that's a major humanitarian issue in the world right now. But my research these days is much more focused, and I'm doing separations related to the nuclear fuel cycle, which has been a lot of fun. I completed a senior design project, and my mentor was Dr. Darno, and I also had some help from Dr. Drapshow and Dr. Owino. But we focus on low impact development for stormwater management. All of that stormwater that's generated, we're going to try to treat on site and keep it from going into like the local estuaries or tidal marshes, because those can be so affected by nutrient loads, and you have oil and grease that comes off the road.
My task was to apply biophysical methods to study problems related to human health, and I created 2 computational predictive tools these type of tools are very highly appreciated in the biophysical community.
For me, so far, the most inspiring or the most motivating people or organizations I've worked with here on Clemson have been my advisor, Janine Putman, as well as the Student Veterans Organization, that have both helped me in my transition in my studies and helped me get where I want to go.
Dr. Khan has been really helpful because he's sort of showed me how a faculty member can be involved not just in their research but also in the campus community and sort of trying to better the place where he's working.
Dr. Gretchen Matthews. Through her, I've kind of seen how one can have great teaching as well as great research, and she's taught me both of those. Another professor at Clemson, Dr. Lee Jenkins, she helped me and 3 other graduate students start the Clemson student chapter of AWM.
Brandon Maddox was the PhD student that was working on my project when I came to Clemson. It was really important to be able to work with him because he had a really good work ethic, and he really taught me what it took to be able to succeed in our lab. And not just in our lab at Clemson, but also when working with collaborators outside the department and when we present our research.
The people I've met in the Honors College, I've watched them grow throughout college and go abroad and do so many amazing things, and it just makes me think, oh, I want to do that.
The most defining moments I've had so far at Clemson have been my work with the Green Zone training that I did in familiarizing staff and faculty with veterans issues coming back from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and adapting to college life.
I think one of the most important things I've got to experience at Clemson is being in the classroom as an instructor. That's what I like to go on after Clemson, so it's been a great opportunity to connect with the undergraduates at Clemson.
Thanks to my advisor, I was able to apply for internship position in the most popular and most important institute in the United States. It's National Institute of Health, where I spent 3 months studying.
So I actually worked with Duke Energy for 4 rotations in their environmental department, and I think that was just such a great opportunity because it allowed me to connect like the real world with what I learned in academia.
I actually got to go to the 2014 Biomedical Engineering Society conference, and I got to represent our department and our lab, and I actually got to give an oral presentation about my research.
With Engineers Without Borders, I've been working in La Pintada, Nicaragua, and we've been doing, for my time here, for the most part, water solutions.
Traveling to Nicaragua, seeing sort of the problems that they had there. One of the big ones was with water filtration. So So that was a really cool opportunity because I had the opportunity to travel to Nicaragua twice to sort of implement this research we've been doing throughout the semester.
I would like to be involved in outreach on a university level. At some point I would like to teach, and then I would like to maybe be a dean of diversity and try to recruit underrepresented groups into engineering.
If I go into industry, I will be with G Aviation on the composite track engineering, and it's a rotating program, so I would get to be in one location at one, factory for a year and a half and then go to the next one, and it's a 5-year program.
People at Los Alamos that are working with a lot of sort of math, biology things, and those sort of combine my interests.
There's this program that sends U.S. students to Switzerland to work at CERN, and I applied last year. I didn't get in, but I asked them, like, what can I do to be better applicant? So I worked really hard last year, and then I applied again this year, and they gave it to me.
This organization is called Citizens for Space Exploration, and what they do is they take 25 to 30 engineering students from the entire country and bring them to Washington, D.C. for 4 days, and they hold congressional office meetings with the senators. But that was an awesome experience because I got to meet with senators and congressmen on Capitol Hill and talk about space and NASA.
There's so many opportunities you can have. Definitely here, the more you work, the more you have, the more opportunities you have.